Hello, and welcome to another podcast of Ask Dr. Leila, where I am your host, and we have a very special guest, Dr. Parviz Rashwan, here today with us. Dr. Parviz is a distinguished naturopathic doctor with vast experience in the UAE since 2004. He's truly a pioneer of natural medicine in this part of the world. His journey in the medical field is as unique as it's impressive. Dr. Parviz began his training in conventional medical universities in the mid-1980s in Iran, and even studied dentistry for some time. However, he took a different path in his medical studies and achieved a degree in naturopathic medicine in Canada. His quest for knowledge didn't stop there. In 2017, Dr. Parviz received a PhD degree in quantum and integrative medicine from a US-based university. Now we're privileged to have Dr. Parviz here to share his expertise and insights on various aspects of medicine and health. Welcome, Dr. Parviz, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It's always good to be with you.
It's October, which means Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we're not only here to discuss the importance of breast cancer awareness, but also to delve into the revolutionary approach to cancer screening. In our region, the status of breast cancer is a matter of concern, Dr. Parviz. Could you please shed some light on the current situation and why awareness is crucial?
That is a very good question. To answer that, I refer to two reports from the Gulf News. One published back in 2012, and another one, it was last year, October 2022. In the first part, it says that in only 3-year period from 2009 till 2012, there was 20% increase in the diagnosis of breast cancer in women above and below age 40. In the second report, which was conducted as an interview with a doctor from the Cleveland Clinic in Abu Dhabi, it is mentioned that about more than 45% of all the cancers diagnosed in the UAE are related to breast cancer. It's a very large number. Additionally, they mentioned that people get cancer here, especially breast cancer here, about 10 years earlier than their countrymen back home in the West. So clearly, something is not balanced within the environment around us, and that is the fact that provokes us to do something, because apparently cancer, as they also mentioned, it has a lot to do with the lifestyle of the people.
You're absolutely correct. Let's shift our focus to a broader perspective. Dr. Parviz, why is cancer treatment often considered a complex and challenging process?
Because of the massive degenerations that happen to the body of the people when cancer starts to run. Additionally, the standard treatments for cancer, which is chemotherapy and radiations, are extremely toxic and lethal to the body. In fact, they are made to kill. But in addition to cancer cells, any other cells on their path will be destroyed too. When cancer is diagnosed in people, in most of the cases, it is due to a symptom that provokes the person to go for a checkup in the first place. By that time, cancer has already moved out of its original place. It is called metastasis, traveling to somewhere else within the body. The question is where? We don't know. That's why the medications, which I mentioned, chemotherapy and radiation, now have to be applied to the entire body. And the damage that is created because of the administration of these medications will create additional massive amount of toxicity that makes the survival rate so low. People cannot survive very easily. That's the problem. It has been diagnosed too late.
Super, super sad. Speaking of prevention, what can women do to protect themselves from breast cancer?
Is to have a better quality lifestyle, that's for sure. A naturopathic doctor like myself has the ability to assess the lifestyle of a person and pinpoint elements that could trigger degenerations or predispose their body to these kind of diseases. In addition to that, it's very important to find and utilize other testing protocols that could scan the body for cancer processes before it becomes a tumor. If we can catch cancer within its infancy, it's not going to be very difficult to get rid of it.
Dr. Parviz, is the IFINDER test a diagnostic tool for cancer? And does our clinic compete with cancer centers and clinics in providing this screening?
The IFINDER test was created by Korean scientists like about a few years ago. This is now being utilized by them and the Japanese as well. This is a collaboration between the Cancer Research Center of Samsung with the most prestigious medical university in Seoul. Over a 10-year project, they found a way by inventing a very advanced computer algorithm, a kind of AI technology to assess certain biomarkers within the blood of a person to speculate the process of cancer, whether it is happening in the body of the person or not. As you may very well know, cancer will take a long time to develop. The seed is there. Something is happening in the body of the person. But over the years, when it develops itself to its maturation level, this is the time that it starts to become a cancer. They have found a way to scan the body, monitor the body for that processes. And to answer your questions, this is not a cancer diagnosis. This is just to scan the body, whether the body of the person is developing something within it or not. And for this fact, is not in a competition with any other cancer work or cancer screening or tests or assessment. It is actually an additional modality to everything that every other cancer clinic could offer to the populations. It's all about scanning the body of the people with the least amount of invasive techniques to speculate whether this process of cancer is happening or not.
This is truly remarkable. And what if some people are afraid of this IFINDER test? How can we address their concerns? And also, could you tell us more about what other types of cancer processes could be detected in addition to breast cancer?
As a woman, you know very well that women are supposed to go to a gynecologist for regular pap smears. Why do they do that? They want to check whether something is happening there or not. So before it becomes a problem, they can stop it. The IFINDER test is a similar idea. There is nothing to be afraid of. Whether people have something about cancer in their body occurring at the moment or not, it will be shown there with the accuracy of up to 90%. So it's a screening test to see whether I am heading towards a problem or not. I am safe. So that gives a lot of idea to people about where they're standing when it comes to cancer. So there is, if people are picked up at the let's say, alert zone on that test, it does not mean that they have cancer. It just means that they have to go for a precise checkup now or as soon as possible. Whereas many other people will show on the moderate or very low risk level. So if people want to ignore this, then whether there is cancer in them or not, they will be responsible for it. Imagine there is cancer growing in the body of a person, but they are afraid of knowing about it. Sooner or later, it will grow to its maturation and it will catch them off guard. So in my opinion, in our opinion, it's better to see whether we are susceptible or not. If something is happening, we could do something about it in advance. This is the key to survive. We need to stop it before it becomes a real cancer.
Prevention is always the best way, as I've always said to everyone. How is this IFINDER Smart Cancer Screening Test conducted?
As I mentioned earlier, it's a very non-invasive technique. All it takes is some sample of blood. People give us some of their blood sample. We need the serum of the blood, and then the protein biomarkers, special ones which are suggested by the Korean companies, are tested. The result will be sent to the mother company back in South Korea, and through using the computer algorithm and the technology they have created, they can speculate whether it is happening or not. So all it takes is just some blood sample and nothing else.
Amazing. And if the score is high, does that mean they have cancer?
Not necessarily, but up to, let's say, 85 to 90%, it shows that the body is developing something which has to be considered as serious. So if people are diagnosed in the red area, in the red zone, in the alert zone, we highly recommend them to go to special doctors for further screening and checkup so that they could pick up if there is really something happening there or not. In most of the cases, something may be picked up by the other cancer specialists, but still that does not mean that people have cancer. A lot of the time it shows that you are heading towards the cliff. You just need to steer away from it by changing your lifestyle.
Thanks for that clarification. And lastly, who is eligible to undergo the IFINDER Smart Cancer Screening Test? And what other forms of cancer which can be tested and speculated with the same smart cancer screening method?
To answer the first part of your questions, as the Gulf News report indicates, women are even below age 40 are now developing breast cancer. So in my opinion, any woman or any person above age 30 on average would be eligible for this test. And the ones who have cancer running in their families will be very good candidates for this test, or the ones who have the difficult lifestyle or they don't take care of themselves well and there are a lot of different health issues in them could be also eligible for that. At the same time, with the single test that we do in addition to the cancer of breast, we can monitor for also another 7 most prevalent cancers of the world in the body of the same person. They include lung, pancreas, liver, stomach, colon, ovarian, and prostate. So these are the 8 forms of cancers that could be picked up by this test in advance.
That's quite remarkable. And lastly, do you want to mention anything about for this month of breast cancer, if our audience wants to do the testing?
Absolutely. I am sure most of the people who hear us have already experienced knowing people who suffered from cancer and what happened to them when the cancer was advanced in them. It's not easy to get rid of very advanced form of cancer quickly and fast, although there are a lot of promising therapies are available. But the fact is that people who lose their lives over breast cancer, mostly women, are the mothers of the family, wives. These are sisters, these are daughters. These are people who play a very fundamental core in the role of the family. A family will achieve a lot more in future when the core is healthy, when the mother is standing by them. The happiness, the prosperity that comes, the future of the children, and many, many more. It is in the hand of healthy women at home. So women are very essential to be healthy. Women are the root of the societies. It's impossible for any tree to exist when the root is damaged. If we can save even one single life by advanced cancer screening tests that we offer through the Koreans, preventing them from falling into hands of the ugly cancer problems, we save the society, we save the future, we save the universe. That's the beauty of it. So I've created a slogan to everybody that let's put hands together to create a healthier society by helping our women to stay healthier and live longer as much as possible.
I'm into that. And Dr. Parviz, here at LH, is there any offer going on right now for the screening test?
We decided to help people with the cost of this test, about 10% discount on everything until, I guess, the end of November of 2023. So if anybody may be interested to conduct this test, they will benefit from this. Additionally, we have provided a lot of additional information about this test, about the details of it, and people are most welcome to contact us for any further information they require to have. We'll do everything as much as possible to support our society.
Thank you, Dr. Parviz, for joining us today and helping us understand more about this IFINDER test and generally about breast cancer and how prevention is the key. For all our listeners out there, please do put your health first and realize that early detection is key. Do all your screenings. Reach out to us if you have any questions about this IFINDER test. And until next time, your health is in your hands.